I got the last one. You get this one.
We're joined by Matthew Linn, Caddo Parish Commissioner, but you're here on behalf of the crew of Highland Parade.
The crew of Highland Parade this coming Sunday, March the 3rd. We're excited.
Did I see 120 plus floats? Was that the number I saw? Was it that many?
We are a little over 120, right at 120. That's what we have maintained for every year. I know you watching it go by in the beginning, it's hard to imagine, but we're there, gosh, a solid 2 hours feeding them out, and the parade is a little over 4 hours.
See, I've had the ultimate Highland plan the last 3 or 4 years. The floats stay stationary, and I walk up and down. It's pretty awesome. So what's better this year? What makes it? Because, you know, people talk about the neighborhood parade, the people's parade, all that kind of stuff. And, in fact, it is my favorite. But why is it going to be better than ever this year?
What we have this year is that we have more smaller floats. And one of the things that I encourage people to do is to get your club, your organization, even your business. And we are promoters of shameless self-promotion. And so if you have something, a positive message that you want to get out to the community, then show up and throw your fares. If you want to throw a koozie with your company name on it, you're certainly welcome to throw a koozie with your company name on it, or cups. And so the joke is that, you know, you judge the party goers by their kitchen cupboard and how many Mardi Gras cups from how many years they're able to go back.
Is the route changing at all this year? The starting point, where it's going to end, the route through the neighborhood, is that altered at all from last year?
Well, we are adjusting to the consent decree. The lift station in Quirby's golf course is fed down Gregg Street. We usually lined all our smaller floats up on Gregg Street, and so all we've done is simply move them north 1 block to Slattery, which is a boulevard and very easy to do. We leave one side open for the residents and emergency vehicles.
Pardon me, just on the other side of what was once known as Sardisco Plaza.
Well, Weingarten's used to be there. There used to be a JB's Chop Shop, M&J Tobacco. Dietmar had a restaurant in that corner, and the Weingartens actually had an ice cream counter on the inside of it.
Now you're going to go from there to Gladstone to Cresswell, and then you make a right on Herndon?
That is correct. We travel north on Cresswell to Herndon. We go in front of our Mardi Gras partner, Knoll Methodist Church, which is a fantastic place to go. They have treats and clean restrooms and all kinds of stuff for guests and visitors. And then south on Highland to Olive, left on Olive to Centenary Boulevard, and south on Centenary back to Gilbert.
What time's the parade rolling Sunday?
We roll every year at 2 p.m. sharp.
Okay. Are we still throwing moon pies and hot dogs and all kinds of nutty things?
The hot dog float, which is one of our favorite stories, they are throwing, I believe they have grilled that morning, stored in a preheated chest, and grilled buns even with all the condiments, 7,500 hot dogs, which are the most wanted throw in the parade.
Speaking of preheated chest, Aaron has another question.
I do want to know if you could work on for next year. I know it's too late for this year.
It's never too late.
Could we throw some ribs? I'm wanting a rib guy to get up there and throw some barbecue ribs. You can just wrap them in foil.
Well, us guys having an extra rib, we ought to be able to throw some.
You know, the last couple of years there have been more and more of the big crews, the name crews, Centaur and Gemini and some of those, who have brought their floats to the parade. Will they be a part of that again this year?
Well, what happens with that is that you have a group of yahoos that want to do a float, but they work full-time, they have children, and so they actually go to Centaur, and our good friends Brian and Scott and Tim and Kevin, everybody, they rent the floats from Centaur, and then when you divide it up, it's like a glorified college keg party. It's, you know, it's $20 a piece to rent the float.
It's part of the appeal.
And it's just really easy because the floats will hold, 50, 75 people.
Some of them like an ark, man. You know that as well as I do.
Matt, have advice to people who are going to attend. We've talked about Mardi Gras safety a lot this week. What's some advice you would give?
The advice I give is watch out for your neighbors. Is that a lot of, especially us native Shreveporters and the people that are comfortable with Mardi Gras, we draw tourists from Little Rock, Kilgore, Tyler, Monroe, Alex. I mean, we pull people from all over the place, and a lot of times people get caught up in the frenzy of Mardi Gras, and they're not paying attention to what they should be paying attention to, which is the fact that the floats are tens of tons of steel rolling down the street that can flatten you. And so be aware of your neighbor, and if your neighbor is not aware of the floats, remind them that they hurt and and pull them back.